welcome. We're very excited today to have all of you here. It's our grand opening of our Urban STEM Center here at the University of Akron. My name is Karen Plaster. I'm one of the directors of the center along with Nida Maki. We are thrilled to have you all here and be a part of this day. As we get started, I'd like to introduce our team. We have a really cool team that is here with us together. Nida, as I said, is a science educator here in the College of Education, and Dr. Gary Holliday, Dr. Nida Maki, is back there, science education. Lynn Peknowski is right over here hidden, math and computer science. Ai-Chun Tsai, did I pronounce that correctly? Yeah. Instructional technology, and Kristen Koski over there is evaluation. So we've put together a really great team, diverse, to start working on the center. So I'm going to introduce President Green to do a few words.
See if I can do this right. There we go.
Well done. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Professor Plaster, and to all of your colleagues here, and to Dean Tudor. It's really wonderful to be here on this really auspicious occasion. I'm really very proud of what you all are doing here, and I think it bodes very well for the future. And one of the things I like best about the Urban STEM Center is that this was a faculty initiated program that you all worked together on, and I think put it together in a great way. It was really exciting when I first saw it, and then when we were able to take it to the Board of Trustees and have them support the program, that was a really exciting moment for me. And wow, the enthusiasm is pretty good in this room, which is also exciting. But you know, when I think about it, in many ways, this initiative takes the college back to its roots in two very different ways. One is the tradition of hands-on research of what works in education for diverse populations. But secondly, it returns to educating teachers to work in an urban environment. And of course, in our world, we think, you know, urban's not just downtown of cities, although that's very important, but it's also the hinterland, right? The distinctions between cities and suburbs are rapidly disappearing. It's really what we have is an urban landscape. That's really quite important. And I know historically this college has done a lot in that area, and here's a chance to get back to doing exciting and innovative things in that area. You know, STEM subjects, particularly mathematics, but science as well, are only going to become more important as we move forward. And when we think about extending the advantages of education more broadly throughout our society, those are two areas that are just especially important. You know, when we look across northeastern Ohio, we see that many of the limitations to members of our population are because they weren't well educated in science and in mathematics, you know, beginning at the elementary and secondary level. So I applaud you for this initiative, and I wish you all the luck in the future. And I think now it's my turn to turn this over to the Dean.
Okay. All right. I'll just hold like this. Okay, well, thank you again for coming. I want to echo the sentiments of Dr. Green. I'm also very, very proud of what we're doing here, and it is so important to stress that this is a 100% faculty-driven endeavor. And what I did as a dean is just say yes, right? And that's what all deans are supposed to do when faculty come to you with projects. This just happens to be one that's very, very special. So for those of us that have had a lot of exposure to urban districts and know the challenges as well as the opportunities that go on in those districts, this is a unit that will help all levels of educators, whether it's the teachers that are on the ground, whether it's the principals that back them up, and also the parents that have a large responsibility in taking the curriculum home and exposing their kids to it as well. When I pitched this project to the area superintendents, and again, just President Green kind of alluded to it, you know, you pitch a project like this and you have to take it to the Board of Trustees, right? I had recommendation letters from our two big urban districts largely by the end of the next day after I asked for them. So if you could just give a huge, and they may not be here yet, but a huge round of applause for the Akron Public Schools and the Canton City School District. So, But again, with this Urban STEM Center, we hope at the University of Akron's LeBron James Family Foundation College of Education become even a deeper part of the social fabric of education here in Northeast Ohio. The faculty that came to me and pitched this project have a long history of doing a lot of outreach, working with existing teachers, and what's been great is that other teachers have kind of gotten on board, and they've wanted to know how they can tap into the Urban STEM Center. And this is really what we want to accomplish, is to be the Urban STEM Center for Northeast Ohio and a resource, whether you're a teacher on the ground, whether you're a parent, your students, principals, superintendents, etc. All right, so again, thank you so much for sharing this moment with us, and I'll do what all good deans do, and that's get the heck out of the way and let the experts take over. So I'm going to introduce Dr. Nida Maki.
This to work. Thank you everybody for coming today. What I'd like to do is just give you a little bit of an introduction of the different collaborations that you'll see here at the open house. We did want it to have an open house feel, so you can come and walk around and then get to see the different things we're working on. I did want to reiterate what both Dr. Green and Dr. Tudor mentioned, that this has been an existing or building on existing collaborations that we've all had in different ways. And what we wanted to do is bring all of this together and under one umbrella, and then being able to then expand it and then streamline some of the work we're doing. And the other kind of initiative that or perspective that we wanted to bring in is the need for expanding access to STEM education. And that's where the Urban STEM Center kind of came to be when we looked around and saw a lot of opportunities in some areas, in some districts, but then when we looked at other districts and some of our kind of larger urban landscapes, there were not enough access to equitable science education, STEM education. I keep saying science because that's my background, STEM education. So that's what we wanted to do. So I want to highlight a few of those collaborations. As you walk around, you'll see First Lego League. We have a team here. Thank you for coming, so you can get to talk with them. We do have Zip to STEM, which I will introduce our partner from Akron Public in a bit, and she'll talk to you a little bit about that. That's a collaboration with Akron Public School with all the middle schools, integrating engineering into their curriculum. You will see Think Tank to Shark Tank, which is a collaboration with the Barker Center here on campus. The Maker Studio from Bierce Library is here as well, and then you get to talk with them. Code Hopper and Girls Who Code will be here at 6:30 this evening, and you get to interact with those girls. We also have Math Teacher Circle, and that's a collaboration with the College of Education, Arts and Sciences, as well as Summit ESC, the education. I'm not going to say this right. Summit ESC. So our goal is to grow these partnerships. Our goal is to streamline some of them and be better at using our resources and also expand what we're currently doing. So if we can do this in small, I guess, silos as individual faculty members, imagine what we could do if we put everybody together and then start collaborating and bringing it further. So I do want to thank everybody who came. I want to thank all of our faculty who helped tremendously to put this together, and everybody else who came. We do have AGPA here as well. Akron Global Palmer Academy, thank you for coming. Choose Ohio First, thank you for coming. And then the College of Engineering is here as well with different partnerships as well. So thanks everybody. And then I would like to have our partner from Akron Public School, Dr. Katrina Halasa, who's been tremendous since I've been here to work with schools and work with students directly. And the first thing she told me as we start working together, it's all about the students. The students come first, and I keep thinking about that every time I have a project in mind. So thank you for coming. Would you like to say a few words as well?
Yes, I would first like to say that, the partnership with the University of Akron, I'm loud. I do have a teacher voice, believe it or not. The partnership with University of Akron has been historical for years. I think what this particular situation will bring to the table is actually having people meet under the same roof. When you talk about silos, one of the things, I graduated from the biology department originally and ended up in the education department and eventually got my PhD here at the University of Akron. And what I've noticed is we always have dynamic people, right? There's always a teacher who's willing to go that extra mile, a professor, a project, and the key word for me has always been about equity. So you can have one person do a great thing, but when it spreads across a district or across a group of people, then you know equity is being addressed. And so what is so amazing, I could name you a litany of list of partnerships we've been doing for years, since the 13 years I've been just in my position, but even as a teacher back in 1995, when I first even started as a substitute teacher, I was involved with physics group, that conceptual physics that started here, and working with different people throughout the entire university, not just, you know, like we have now the engineering department, working with the education department in regards to our Zipping to STEM, which is hitting every 8th grade student. We're actually having them do CAD programs, getting them exposed to engineering, because if you think about it, unless your parent or someone in your family is an engineer, and sometimes we don't even know what they do, let's be really honest, that, you know, you may not have the affinity to move toward that direction. So what is so exciting about seeing something like this happen, I think people don't realize the rich experiences we actually get from the University of Akron. There is so much, not just through our College of Education, which I think is the hub, and then the entire university, all these different disciplines work together to constantly have those great partnerships. And I think this is exciting because it allows everybody to shine, and it brings equity across the area, not just in one dynamic individual, but all individuals that are involved in a process. So thank you so much for having us today. We're just so thankful to be part of it. As an alumni, I also am very proud. I have to say that. So, but I truly appreciate this, you know, time and effort that everybody's done, because this hard work needs to be always, you know, out there advertising the great things. We always hear those few little things, but the reality is there's so many good things going on, and it needs everyone to make that happen. So thank you so much, and have a really wonderful evening. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me.
Thank you. So, thank you so much. So real quick, we have basically an open house format. You can walk around. You have a schedule which tells you where everything is. At 6 o'clock, at 5:30, we're going to have one session, and at 6 o'clock we'll have another session, and then at 6:30 there's a third session. One is on integrating literacy in STEM at 6 o'clock. The other one is about using inquiry, and that's at 5 with Dr. Gary Holliday at 5 o'clock. So those are going to be more of a mini session if you're interested in learning more about that. And then at 6:30 we have Girls Who Code with Dr. Peknavsky in room 113, I think, across just the hall in the other way. So go ahead and have some food, walk around, and if you have questions, just find anybody with the Urban STEM Center shirt and they'll be able to help you. Thank you.